It was late when Julia walked home from the bus stop. The streetlights cast long, eerie shadows across the empty sidewalk. The town was unusually quiet, and the air had that sharp, biting cold of early winter. Julia hugged her jacket tighter, her steps quickening as she passed the tall, decaying houses. Each one was like an empty eye watching her, silently judging. Her phone buzzed, another text from her boyfriend Mark. "Home yet?" it read. She typed back, "Almost." But then, another notification popped up, a video message from an unknown number. Curiosity got the better of her. She clicked it open. The video began with a shaky shot of the hallway in her apartment building. It was dark, but she recognized it. She could hear the faintest sounds of breathing. A figure appeared in the frame standing by her door. Julia's heart skipped a beat. She squinted at the screen. It was her, but she hadn't sent the video. She hadn't been there. The figure in the video, her doppelganger, stood motionless, facing the camera. The image was distorted, blurry, but Julia could clearly see the outline of her face, pale and cold, eyes dark and hollow. Suddenly the figure raised its hand and waved directly at the camera. Julia's heart pounded, then the video cut to black. Her phone buzzed again. Another message. "Turn around." Julia froze. She wasn't near her apartment yet. She was still a few blocks away, but the feeling of dread crept up her spine, an invisible weight pushing against her chest. She slowly turned around, her breath catching in her throat. Nothing, just the empty street, the streetlights flickering as they always did. She swallowed, trying to shake off the panic creeping in. Another buzz. "Look in the window." Her pulse raced as she stared at the nearest house. A large window on the second floor caught her eye. It was dark, but someone was there. The figure stood motionless, perfectly still in the shadows. Julia's breath caught in her throat. It was her again. But this time, her reflection was grinning. Her knees buckled, and she nearly collapsed, stumbling backward. Her phone dropped to the ground as her legs gave out beneath her. Her eyes never left the window. The grin on her reflection stretched impossibly wide, the eyes darkened, and slowly, it raised its hand, as if to wave. Julia's heart stopped. She turned and sprinted down the street, her breath coming in ragged gasps. The sound of footsteps echoed behind her, but when she looked over her shoulder, there was nothing, just the empty street, bathed in the flickering light of the lampposts. She made it home, heart pounding. Slamming the door behind her, she locked it, gasping for air, but then her eyes went wide as she stared at the mirror by the hallway. The reflection wasn't hers, it was the figure from the window. Slowly it grinned, and the grin stretched wider, stretching far beyond what was humanly possible, until it split its face open into a mouth too wide to comprehend. It whispered, "You never left. You're still with me." And the lights went out. The next day, Julia's body was found on the sidewalk, her face contorted in a scream. There was no sign of the person who had done it. Only her reflection, left behind in the shattered window, staring, waiting, for the next one.